Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television. I am Chris Elems. Today we'll take you to Igbogbo in Ikorodu, Lagos, where the landlords affected by road construction seek compensation 3 years after project commenced. A young Nigerian, Austin Oga, wants to see his community COVID-free, builds pedal push hand washing machine. We also bring you update on this video of some guys fetching water from a public water source into some branded dispenser water bottles. Join us for these and more. I'm Chris Elems. In December 2017, during the last administration in Lagos, the then governor, Ambode, began the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Road project in Igbogbo Bayeku in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State. Now, some agreements were reached between the government and the landlords for compensation to be paid those affected. Almost 3 years down the line, they're still awaiting compensation. Bola Ahmed Tinubu Road in Igbogbo Bayeku still in the news 3 years after the road construction started. In order to make way for expansion, several houses had to give way either totally or partially. Churches, mosques, residential buildings were all affected, from close to the King's Palace to Ilara Igbe. The landlords had no choice but to agree with the suggestion of the Lagos State government, which came with a package: compensation. Unfortunately, when the compensation came, only a few of the lords, now bearing over 500 affected landlords, got it, while others were left in the dark. Now their woes appear compounded.
The plight of the people here started about 2.5 years ago, when the houses were demolished, and with the promise that we will all be compensated adequately. But for almost 2.5 years now, we've never received anything from the government. But about 20% of us have been paid. When they paid the 20%, we thought that it will continue and that the rest of us will get our money very soon. But for almost 2 years now, because they paid them June 2018, and since that time now, they've not paid anything. We had made about 5 peaceful demonstration to Alausa, and we gave a letter to the governor, to the speaker, and to everybody. But they continue to promise us. The last time we went, they told us that our money had been included in the budget for this year. They said when the budget is passed, we will be compensated. When the budget was passed, we moved to them to remind them. They said we should go and be patient, that we will be paid. But the story is not there alone. It's a very pathetic story for people around this area. Some of the houses demolished is the only means of income for some of them, the old people, the aged people. And since the houses have been demolished, they can't afford to heat, because that was their means of income.
It affected me most because my father's house is at that junction. I have a senior sister. That my senior sister is in the bush now because we didn't have time, money to build house for her to live. We just find something to build one small room for her to be living. No toilet, no anything. It is because I'm not almost around here. That's why I can talk. I'm now 74 years age. Yeah, my sister is now 84. So that's that room, the house that Daddy gave us is the one that she's living upon. So we beg that they should please, by the name of God, to help us pay our money in time.
For this 81-year-old prince, it's been a major loss. 14 rooms gone from his building. He shows photos of his entire structure before it was brought down.
láti ìgbà tó dẹ̀ tí tán ti wó ilé yìí gbogbo wa àskátà ni so débi tó yẹ pé ilé ibi tí mi ń gbé kọ́ ni ìyàwó mi ń gbé ilé ibi tí mi ń gbé òun kọ́ ni àwọn ọmọ mi ń gbé so ó skátà gbogbo wa gbogbo fámìlì wa pàpà ni so ló skátà so as a result à ń bẹ gọ́vnà wa Babájídé Sanwó-Olú kó jọ nítorí Ọlọ́run kó ro tiwa kó san compensation yìí fún wa ní Ìgbogbo.
Further down the road is the home of a former member of the House of Assembly, late Honorable Rotimi Shotomiwa. His widow and daughter had to borrow funds to fix the part of the buildings brought down, and with compensation still hanging in the balance, they make their appeal.
December 2017, they came here to demolish our house. The shops, all the shops we have, they demolish it since 2017, and they did not give us anything at all.
So we have to go and borrow money to rebuild the house back so that the compound will not be opened. So, and we've been begging and begging, but they could not do anything about it. We want the governor to help us. Maybe they should refund our money or they should do something for us. At least, I don't think if our father should die, they should leave the kids or the family alone like that. We need their assistance, please. They should do something.
The story continues with some of the affected landlords pleading for compensation.
I used everything I have labored for as a young man to put up that place, believing that as I retire, I will start from there. All the plans for the children is based on that place. But to my surprise, they came and demolished everything from the foundation. Nothing was remaining. Some weeks after that demolition, the demolition team came to us that we should bring to Alausa our documents, which we took to Alausa for documentation. And after that, we were told that in some months' time, they will call us. They took our account numbers and every other thing. As I'm talking to you now, we all know what is due to us by the government. Initially, I was afraid because when they started the payment, I went to Alausa, I did not even see my name in the list. We went to the House of Representatives many times. On one of the visits, I told them I don't know if it's something of the issue of not being an indigene or whatever, which the spokesman for them told us no, that everybody who is affected will be compensated. And we went home. We have been there more than 4 or 5 times. We wrote a letter to the office of the governor. Till now, we have not received anything.
I just want to see this opportunity at the secretary of that concerned landlord to please, the government should please, our current governor, I know he's a very kind person, a massive and reasonable person, he should please help us in this compensation, to fasten it, to even to pay us. Some of our people are sleeping in the church, some of them are now become tenants, some of them are died, some of them are back to village. So, but I believe when the compensation is being paid, then the reproach will be taken away.
Efforts to get full information on the current state of the compensation of these Igbobo residents from the Lagos state government is still ongoing, as the special advisor works promises to revert on the matter. As workers return to site amidst the rainfall, the people of Igbobo would be glad to see that not only is the road project completed this time around, but that the government also ensures it revisit the books and reward the patience of the affected landlords of Bola Tinubu Road. When an eyewitness sent us this video of some young men fetching water from a public source to a branded dispenser water bottle, we set out to find out who was responsible and for what purpose. We contacted NAFDAC and a team led by an Assistant Director, Investigation and Enforcement came to Isheri where the event took place.
He's using his mouth to open it. That one is using his mouth to open that dispenser.
Following our exposure of this video showing some persons filling up empty dispenser bottles with water from a public source, the company in question, in collaboration with the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, visited Isheri North, where the incident took place. Straight away, they went to the home of the water vendor, whose vehicle was traced to the event. The officials of NAFDAC did a quick surveillance of the environment, including some dispenser water bottles. They also interacted with the water distributor with the hope of getting to the root of the incident.
You say there is no single water in the house.
To use our domestic flushing toilets, washing houses.
According to her, it was a huge error of judgment on the part of her workers. She said the water drawn from the public source was for domestic use, as she didn't have any at home at that point. She explains.
I saw a trending video going on, and of a truth, it's a more or less what I can call it a misconception. The day it happened, I sent the children to go to sell as usual. Prior to that, I had called on tankers to bring water for us at home for our domestic use. But unfortunately, they were having issues. This is raining season. All the tankers broke down. And because of the pressure at home, more or less, I called on my boys. Guys, please, as you are returning back from your sales, ensure you go to that our spot to get all those tankers. Get any one of them available. We need water at home, and it's very important. Wow, what a pity. My guys, they got there, and unfortunately, what you saw on the video, what happened after they realized that there was no vehicle available at that moment, and they even saw the mechanics still working on those vehicles. And as a matter of fact, I could call it a foolish and a very naughty behavior of theirs. And of a truth, when they brought the water home to me, I saw all those, I screamed. And I said, why would you do this? And of course, I scolded them, and I prayed for mercy that I hope this will not be misinterpreted. And immediately I called on my distributor, Seaway. I told them what happened exactly. And they told me, all is well, we will do the investigation.
The NAFDAC team lead also gives a summary of his findings.
While we still continue the investigation, for now, what we have discovered is the woman staff decided to do what they did without her approval, which she had admitted in her previous discussion. So while investigation continues to be sure that this will never happen again, we have to continue monitoring the environment, monitoring the lady, monitoring the distribution point to ensure that such is not in practice and doesn't happen again.
I could call it a mistake. However, it's a pity. The deed had been done. Please, I am very sorry. I'm totally sorry.
With clarification sorted, it's obvious a vital lesson has been learned on how not to handle any brand going forward. We once again appreciate the eyewitness who sent in the video. Do keep them coming, as we all have a role to play in keeping everyone else safe.
To open that dispenser. That's the same place you put.
Far away in Boki local government area of Cross River State, a young man dreams of seeing his community COVID-free as he fabricates a pedal-push hand-washing machine to check the spread of the virus. He says it won't be wise to touch surfaces in public places, if it is even a tap, that it won't be wise to touch surfaces. Join us for this story. In the far-flung area of Boklan in Boki local government area of Cross River State comes a young Nigerian fabricator who constructed a pedal pull hand washing sanitizing machine to help his community guard against the spread of the coronavirus. Austin Oga thought it wise to contribute his quota by helping his people stay safe while washing their hands with soap under running water and applying sanitizer. All you need do is pull a pedal and avoid touching surfaces which may have been touched by persons exposed to the virus, especially in public places. Mr. Austin Oga, a 2011 graduate of Electronics and Computer Technology in the Department of Physics, University of Calabar, speaks on his project.
I love innovations. You can see what I've been able to put into use because of this COVID-19. My community is a border community. So when I came here, I actually saw the sensitization program did by the Commissioner for Aviation through His Excellency Professor Ben Ayade. So what they actually sensitize the people is, COVID-19 is being spread as a result of the hands touching and somehow maybe if you are not keeping social distance and the rest. And I came to my border community, I saw that they are using tap water instead of a flowing water that you cannot open and then another person will come and open. So with that, I have to come with an innovation to help the community. But then I don't have money. I call on the community to assist me financially to see how to help and then keep the spread of COVID-19. So I did this. This is a simple hydraulic system that uses the foot to operate in washing your hands, sanitizing your hands without the use of hands.
There are chances for improvement, and also it will take much more to replicate this device. Mr. Oga says he lacks the financial muscle and therefore would be glad if he gets the necessary support from the government, individuals or corporate organization.
The challenges I faced was the source of materials. You can see we're in a remote area. So when the youth were able to, raise the cash, I have to go out and source for materials. But to fix everything, that is just a day out. With this innovation, I think the government, the ministry need it so much. We need them in primary schools, secondary schools, the health center, even in the social gathering areas like this where people can be able to wash. Even in restaurants, we need them. So the government, the federal government of Nigeria, the state government, NGOs and individuals should come into financing this project so that we can duplicate it to the community and other communities too.
The community members who are fortunate to have this within their locality for their use are happy about the impact the single device could have on them.
With this effort that this guy has made, it will help the government to go a long way, especially with that we are in the border, a border community.
The man is just God gave him. He just see it as a dream. And really it started as a dream. And God gave him this idea to protect these things for us. So we feel that the state and the federal government and the local level, they should join hands together and look out for this type of person.
His work has, however, caught the attention of the state government.
In the Western world and in developed countries, there's a lot of automation in terms of hand sanitizing or washing your hands. People step on the gas pedal and then through a contraption that is powered by electricity or battery power, water comes out, soap comes out through a dispenser and the hands are washed. Or you put your hand under an automated hand sanitizer and the gel comes out and you can clean your hands. Now, all those are good, but in terms of sustainability, living in the country we are in Nigeria where there is inadequate power supply and there are challenges in rural areas when it comes to battery power. How sustainable is it for some of these contraptions or these devices to work? And therein comes the genius of the gentleman in Buki. He has devised a system which uses purely mechanical power, using pressure on a pedal system, pressing it. It releases hand gel or sanitizer into your hand. Stepping on another pedal allows water to come out from another outlet, and then you wash your hands. So you end up sanitizing your hands without having contact with any of the equipment per se with your hands. Now, that is an exercise that I love because it is using local solutions for our problems. We can't, it's not that as easy as taking world solutions and domesticating them in Nigeria because we have our own challenges. So it's important that as a country and as a people, we need to look a lot more inwards in trying to develop local solutions for our problems. You do see that Nigeria and as Africans, we actually have the ability to solve some of the world's problems if we can look internally and have that confidence. We have the ability, and it's only confidence in ourselves that can lead us to the end of the road. The Cross River State government is going to look into this gentleman, look into his device, see how we can support him in terms of to increase his production capacity, see how we can procure for him for general public areas, and see how we can even push sales of his device across the country. If he can scale up his capacity, his production capacity, we can even be talking about exporting some of these devices. So Cross River State is going to ensure that this is a project is going to take up.
While the country looks forward to containing the spread of COVID-19 amidst the resumption of full economic activities, Augustine Oga has demonstrated a trait worthy of a pat in the back. It remains for the state government to help him cover more areas with his fabrication. Be part of Eyewitness Report by uploading your shots to the Eyewitness portal, which you can find if you've downloaded the Channels TV app from the various Play stores available. Add all the necessary information required to reach out to you. Follow instructions on how to upload your story. Now let's see what you already posted for the week. This video shows a road sweeper calling on Loma to please attend to their obligations to them. She is demanding that what is due her be paid, having discharged her duties. It's works in progress at Arepo in Ogun State, where this video is coming from. The ongoing work, according to our eyewitness, is the rehabilitation of 1.9-kilometer stretch of the community road using interlocking stones. He reports that the construction of the road, which he alleges has suffered neglect by the state government, is gulping as much as 180 million naira, which is sourced through individual contribution. Our eyewitness report that every aspect of the project is through direct labor, including the making of paving stones. He adds that the residents took advantage of the lockdown to make their materials available. We have this next set of images and video from Lekki in Lagos showing artworks wearing face masks. Our eyewitness got interested in a statue, particularly the human statue wearing face mask, mimicking the call for the use of face mask in combating COVID-19. A set of images from Ojokoro village in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State shows what our eyewitness describes as the situation of fence following a heavy downpour. According to our eyewitness, the flood flows all the way from Oriokuta. Still from Lagos State comes our next image, also showing a flooded community in Ayubo Ayetoro, a border community between Lagos and Ogun States. Our eyewitness laments that this is the experience every year once it rains. Our final image is still on flood and is from Orija Abule Iroko in Ogun State. Our eyewitness reporter says the community is under Adodota local government area of Ogun State. He calls for any help that could save the community from the perennial challenge. Now, those are your shot to keep them coming. Till next week when Eyewitness makes a return, I'm Chris Elems, and I'll keep my eyes on you.